Hello and welcome to the Sketchup tutorial for the mug. Right, so for this lesson we're going to complete the task which under Google Classroom, if you select Sketchup Portfolio, so go to your class code, it says TE at the end if you're not sure which. Select Sketchup Portfolio, and then when you open that up, that should bring you to this here. If I come to the top page, you can see it looks like that on the top page, and we're going to go down to the sort of purple section, and we're going to create a mug like this, but in Google SketchUp. So we have exact measurements on this. So for this tutorial we're going to actually put those measurements on the finished product. Okay, right, so first thing we need to do is open up SketchUp. So scroll down to S in the programs list as before, select SketchUp 2018, down to the red stairs, SketchUp 2018, wait for that to open. As always, choose template, architectural design, millimeters, and then click start using SketchUp. Wait for that to open. Right, so as always, we've got to change our tools. So we're going to go View, Toolbars. If you don't already have them, Large Tool Set, and select to the bottom. You have to click the actual box here, by the way, if you haven't figured that one out. We're going to go Views. Doesn't work if you select the writing for some reason. Okay, close. Right, we've got to get rid of the lady on mine. It'll probably be a different character on yours as before. So I'm going to drag a box using the select tool there, drag a box over the person, make sure you get all of her in there, press delete on your keyboard, and we've got to draw a circle. Now we've got to do this to an exact size, so to have a look on the tutorial, it says the diameter of the mug is going to be 82 millimeters wide, and then if you look at the mug including the handle, that's 122, and then 85 high. So I'll try and remember that, 82 millimeters wide for the circle, and then we'll come back to the rest. 82 by 95. Okay, so go draw a circle. Let's change the view so we can look down on it. Obviously it's a bit confusing at this stage, so you've got something drawn on there. Now it's 82 we're looking for, which is at the moment it's saying thousands in the number here, so I'm going to have to zoom in a long way with my scroll wheel on my mouse. If you zoom in, it lets you go to a smaller size. 82. Now at the moment that's radius, but we want 82 diameter, which is what radius? It should be 41. So just type 41 on my keyboard there. I'll just do that again. So if I move the mouse, I'm not clicking anywhere. I literally just move the mouse as before and type in 41, and it appears in that bottom box there where it says radius. It should say 41 when you've done it right before you click enter. So I'll do it last time. Move the mouse anywhere sort of out from the center. Just type 41 on your keyboard. That radius box should say 41, and just press enter. Okay, so I've got a 41 millimeter radius circle. Just zooming in there. Let's move it to the middle of my screen, and we can now look down onto it as well. We're going to double check that's correct. So there's a tool here that says dimensions that we should have used on the house. So we're going to select that one there, and we're going to click on the circle, and it should say diameter 82. Excellent, that's correct. Okay, right, so we now need to make that 3D, so I'm going to change the view a little bit, probably zoom out a tiny bit too, and I think it was not, was it 95? Yeah, 95. So we're going to select the push pull tool, click that once, and then hover over the circle, click once, don't click and drag, move it upwards, doesn't matter how far, we just got to type in, and if you look at that distance box there, it should appear there again. So we're just going to type in 95 without clicking anything, and then press enter on the keyboard. There we go. That should be 95. We can double check that again with the dimensions tool. So if I click, now this might be a little bit harder actually, dimensions tool, or we could use the tape measure tool. Let's try that one instead this time. So click on the endpoint there, and we want that green endpoint there as well. It should say, it says 95. If you look down in the length box here, it tells us that is 95 between those 2 points there. So again, in the length box there, it tells us that is 95. So that's good. Okay, so we can turn that tool off, go back to the pointer there. Now, we need to create a hole in the center of this. The question is, how big? If we look at the drawing, there is no measurement on the drawing that tells you the thickness of the wall for this cup. Okay, so that means it's up to you. Now, if you look at a real cup, you'll find they're at least 3 millimeters thick, because if they're much thinner than that, then they become very fragile. So we've got to create a circle. Now we want this circle to create from the center, because we want to draw another line, but it doesn't always give you the center. If I hover over there at the moment, nothing's coming up for me to click onto to tell me that that's the center. So what you have to do is get the view down so you're looking down onto the circle. Go back to your circle tool and hover over the edge, any edge, hover over the edge for 3 seconds, 1, 2, 3, and then move to the center, and suddenly it gives you the option to click on the center. Okay, so I'm going to click there once. Don't click and drag, just click there once. Now if the diameter of the outside was 82, which gave us 41 for a radius, and we want a 3 mil thick wall, then that would give us 38 for our radius in here. So just going to move the circle again, anywhere, doesn't really matter, around there. I'm going to type in on the keyboard 38, then tap enter. Okay. Now we've got to push that that circle down in a minute with the push-pull tool, but we need to remember that this is 95 millimeters high, and we want to leave 3 millimeters on the bottom. So that means we select the push-pull tool, click on there once, move it down a bit. Don't click and drag, just move it down a bit, and we're going to type in 92 on the keyboard. Again, looking down on the distance box here, it tells me when I'm typing it in, so I'll do that again. 92, and then press enter. Okay, if that's right, we should, there we go, have a solid bottom. We cannot see through it, and we can double check that with a measure tool if we want. So click anywhere on the bottom corner there, and if you can see it's gone blue, the line, that means we're in the blue axis. It says 92, so that's correct. Going straight up because it's a blue line. Okay, fantastic. Now we want to have a look at creating the handle. Now we want a handle to come out here, but how do we draw that onto that surface? Well, the first thing we need is a surface to draw on in the first place. So we're going to try and change the view a bit so that we can see where this red line touches the side of the mug. I'm going to draw a square starting there, and try not to get the square to, if you can see my square, well, I can't zoom in, it will let me show you, but if you can see where it's trying to draw the square across one surface, I don't want it to do that. I just want the dot. So click once, and I'm going to hover at the top for 3 seconds. Don't click there, just hover there, 1, 2, 3, and then come out the other direction. It may be a little glitchy to let you do it. Now the question is, how far do I come out? Well, if I go back to my measurements here, I want 122, it's 38 millimeters there from the inside of the handle to the outside, 38. So go back to our drawing, hover there for 3 seconds, 1, 2, 3, don't click, and then we want to come out by 38. Now notice it's all green, but it's hovering along the red axis. We could type in the numbers 38,95. 38,95. Okay. So we're going to try that. 38,95. Enter. Okay. So we've got it. Double check it's in the right direction. If you're having difficulty with this, put your hand up and your teacher will help you. You need to make sure that that is pointing straight out, not at a funny angle, and it's going along either the red, the red or the green or the blue axes, but it has to be going along one of the axes. It can't be sort of out in the middle of nowhere. Okay, so we've got that there. We now need to draw a line on this surface to create our handle. If we go back to the drawing, we've got no measurement for how high up or down the handle is from the top or the bottom surface. There's no measurement given, so we're just going to have to make one up that we're happy with. Right, so I'm going to move the camera a little bit first. I'm going to draw a line from the top there. Now, how far down do I want to start my handle? Well, I'm going to go for a nice round number. Let's go for 15. So I'm just going to move it down this axis and then type the number 15 on my keyboard. Tap enter. There's a line there. You just can't see it. Now, if I move along, can you see the end of the line is there? Because that's where I've got a green dot, because green dots indicate the ends of lines. Look, see, there you go. Green dot there. So we've got 15 down from the top. And we're going to draw another line. And we're going to go 15 up from the bottom. It's already guessed what I want to do. I could type it in if not. 15 up from the bottom and 15 down from the top. Right, now I want to create a arc or a circle. There's different ways of doing it, but I want a curve that goes along there that touches this top surface here, which may be problematic. We're going to have to see. Let's go for a 3-point arc. Let's try that one first. So I'm going to click once. Oh, I think that's going to be the right one, but I did it wrong. Let's try again. 3-point arc was that one there. So we're going to click once on the end of that line. Got to try and get that end point there. Got to try, there we go. See, green dot. There we go. Once on that line, and see if we can get it to go there. Easier said than done. Let's change the view. Back to the 3-point arc. Try changing the view a little bit. May have to go just there and then draw a little line to finish it. Doesn't seem to want me to join right up to the end. There we go. Alright, so we've got a 3-point arc there. Which, see, is not where I thought it was. Is not where I thought it was. Okay, edit, undo. Edit. Let's have a look when I do that. Yep, edit, undo. Let's go back to there. Right, let's try another way. See, it happens to everybody. Let's move this up so I can see it straight on. Right, let's try a circle this time instead. So we get the midpoint of the line, which is, it should be there. There we go. Let's try like that. Back to the circle. Strangeness going on. Strangeness. Okay, edit, undo. Let's try again. Arc or 2-point arc? Let's try a 2-point arc. 1, 2. Yes, 2-point arc. Okay, so select on the end there. This time I think we've got it. So 2-point arc is the one you want, for whatever reason. And now we can delete the box that we put on here, because we only used it to try and get that to sit. Press delete on the keyboard. Try and sit where we wanted it. We now want to delete that one as well. Let's select it. There we go. We now want to draw a circle that is on the end here. A bit like the speaker, this is going to be a little bit difficult. So we want to get the view so you basically can't really see the semicircle we've just drawn there, right? So flat onto the end of it here. Exactly like the speaker, the same problem. Okay, so I'm going to draw a circle and I'm going to start it on that edge there, and we're going to make sure, can you see it's we've got a green line in the center there, which means it's on the green axis. Okay, now we can make it small, but it may not want to be green. Could try that. 4mm would be okay. Should we try 5? So I'm just going to move it out here. I'm going to type in 5, and knowing that I've got this green line in the center, which means it's on the green axis, just going to type the number 5 in, and then click, actually that's radius, so we're going to type in 4, and click enter. And we should have a circle there. Now have a look around it, make sure it is flat to the surface as far as you can tell. Not sure it is. We'll see in a minute. Looks like it might be at a slight angle for whatever reason. Okay, we're now going to go over to the follow me tool, just like the speaker. And we're going to, oh, before we do that, we've got to delete this line here because it's separating our two circles. Delete. Edit, undo. Let's just try it without, let's do it separately. So follow me tool. Select that surface, and then we're going to go all the way along this edge here, all the way to the end until I get this sort of junction point, which means I'm at the end there. So we've got half of one, and I need to do the same on the other half. So we're going to try the same again. Follow me tool, select the surface, and it's not going to do it. Okay, edit, undo. We need to get rid of this line in the center, don't we? Select tool, line, let's try that line, delete. Perhaps we just need to do it like that anyway. Okay, so like that. Now we want to fill in this space because this is now gone hollow, but we'll do that afterwards. So go back to the follow me tool, click that surface once, and then we're going to follow along that circle carefully until we get to the end. If it goes wrong, don't worry, just go edit, undo, and do it again. Follow me tool, click that surface, and go along that circle, making sure that you don't go off the circle with your mouse. So I'm not dragging, I'm just literally following that surface. I've got to do it more than once. I've got to try and get that. It might be better if I try it slightly from the side. So follow me. I'll delete this line again for some reason. Okay, try it again. Follow me tool, that one there. Click this surface right next to that line. There we go. And we're going to try and follow that line round. So the camera angle may have helped. We'll see. Hopefully we'll get all the way to the side. That's it. There we go. So I had to change the view so that it was more side on for some reason. Like I said, the problem with the camera is the main issue with this program. So we have a handle there, and I'm pretty happy that it's on the side, certainly close enough. I'm going to draw a line now, and I'm going to go from that corner there to that corner there. Now with any luck that will fill the space in. Let's try from there to there. Okay, there we go. Wanted to do that one there. Now I can delete those lines. Bizarrely, you just have to, oh, maybe not. Seems to want that. There we go. Wants it that way there. Wants a single line there. We can try and delete the line. It might let us. Now, it's the order you delete things in. No, it doesn't want us to do it. So we'll have to delete the line in there. Okay, edit, undo until that line's back. You can see how problematic the program is. Now when you come to next year, you're going to be doing CAD work on another CAD program that doesn't have these slightly glitchy problems when you come into more complex drawings. Okay, right, so we have a mug at last. A bit of a difficult one this time, but we got through it. Okay, now we can put measurements on this to prove that it is the size that we've said it is. So we want 122 from there to there. It's okay if it's a little bit off. You'll probably find mine slightly bigger because the center line of this handle is actually where we went up to rather than the outside line. And then you've got 78 to the top. It'll be slightly larger there too. That's fine. We can do measurements for that or not. Should be 82 for there. And we should be able to measure that line there, 95 high. Pull that out like that there. So pop your measurements onto your mug, all the ones you can get onto it. As long as it's there or thereabouts, that's fine because it's shown that you've tried to measure it properly. And it shows that you've understood how to draw things to an exact specification and what the problems are with it. Okay, so once you've got that, you're going to get it nice and large on the screen here. We're going to select a view. Let's go from above. And we can, as before, press PRNT SCRN, print screen on a keyboard. It's on the top right hand corner. Just tap that once. Go to your portfolio, which you should already have open. If not, it's under your Google Classroom, and then go to assignments and instructions in your case. Not sure if you've got that on student work. There we go. And select Sketchup Portfolio. Mine's already open. And you're going to drop your 3 screenshots into here. A view from above, view from the side, and a 3D view, which I'm sure you can do now because you will have done that several times before. And then answer the questions on the last page, which in this one I expect to be fairly complex. I expect you to have had a fair few difficulties to overcome. So wherever you got to, screenshot it, drop it in there, and answer the questions here. What we're looking for is, are you trying to find ways around problems, or do you sort of get stuck and go, well, that's it, I give up? If you can show you've tried different things and I can see that there's effort gone onto your drawing, then you will get the marks for perseverance. Okay, thanks very much.